everyone, and welcome back to Replay, the show where games are art. We're back again with more Final Fantasy VI. Last time, the villain won, the world ended, and we entered an E-world. It's November 2016, and let's talk about despair. What we're presented with in the aftermath of Kefka's victory is a world in ruins. We see one island in a vast ocean that looks like it's been tainted with blood. We see a ruined house, patches of dying grass, and we see Celeste. And that's significant, I think, because Terra and Celeste have been presented as mirrors throughout the whole game. And so where Terra is initially presented as this figure of hope, in Celeste, we have the character who represents despair. And so as we shift from the world of balance to the world of ruin, from the hopeful revolution against the Empire to this dystopian, ruined post-apocalyptic world of despair, we move from Terra's story to Celeste's story. And what an absolutely shattering beginning this is. I mean, the first thing we learn upon waking up is that it's been a year. This is, unless I'm much mistaken, the most significant time skip in the series. Certainly the biggest to this point so far. There haven't really been time skips at all before this. And the idea that an entire year has passed, that the world has been living in this state for a year, rotting away, and that Celeste and Sid may be the only people left alive, that everything is dying. This is bleak. This is an amazing display of something that games can do. And note that this is yet again, a cutscene, a scene in which we can't do anything but press the A button and continue. Like the beginning of the game, when Terra was under control, like when Kefka killed a bunch of Espers and, General Leo and so forth, like when the floating island was raised. The game uses cutscenes to represent points at which control is lost, and to convey emotions other than fun. Let me just... Yeah, cure spells are good. Yeah. This is horrific. Like, what are we even supposed to do with this? The game has given us an indication of what to do next. Feed Sid fish. But where do we go from here? Is there a rest of the world? There's, paradoxically, where for Terra's beginning, everywhere we could go, there were places we could go, but we were constrained from going anywhere except one path. Let me save 1 second. As I was saying, where with Terra's beginning, there were all sorts of places we could go, but we were constrained to a single path. Here, there's no constraints. There's just nowhere to go. Instead of a world of walls and rules and order, it's an empty world. A world exemplified by chaos. And we play the character in it who exemplifies order. A complete reversal of what came before. Now, it is possible to save Sid here, but it's also really obvious that the game expects you to fail. And so that's what I'm going to do, because that's how the story goes, really. And that just compounds it. Like, the one thing the game presents to you that you can do is a failure. Okay, yeah, he does take all the fish and kind of keep. Like I said, it is possible to save him. The key is to feed him mostly or entirely fast-moving fish, because those are the healthy ones. But it's not how the story goes. So let's talk about this. Last time I was talking about how the apocalypse is actually a genre of hope. That this is something, that it represents revolution, that it represents change for the better. But as I noted near the end, frequently revolutions don't turn out so well. And in the immediate aftermath of the apocalypse, we have this. And unfortunately, that's often the way it goes. The world, there are upsides to this. You don't have to worry about the Empire conquering people anymore, because it's gone. The downside is, so many people are dead. Sid among them. And I'm just going to let this next part play out. So first off, that's a translation thing, making it a leap of faith to perk themselves up. No. In the original, and I believe in all translations other than the SNES, it was when they couldn't take it anymore, they committed suicide by throwing themselves off that cliff. And frankly, even in this, it's pretty obvious that that's what's going on. The other thing is, as I show in the opening of every episode, this is a parallel to the Opera House. The flowers thrown off the balcony, her falling, her tears resembling the shooting star. Both are moments of despair that are coming ultimately out of loss and feeling alone. And the cure for that is the recognition that maybe she's not alone. And that's actually important. That's actually really important, because what it means is that Celeste here is not acting out of hope. She's acting out of the realization that there are other people out there. And I think that's actually really important, because so the apocalypse is a genre of hope. The apocalypse is a hopeful thing because it means the destruction of this awful world and its replacement with something better. But then it goes wrong. It's not the right apocalypse. It's not the overthrow of the empire. It's the destruction of everything. And the response is despair. Because that's what despair is. It's not the lack of hope. It's the failure of hope. It's the hoped-for thing went wrong. And so, the cure for despair is not more hope, because that just sets you up for a cycle of hope and despair. The cure for despair is to recognize that you're not alone. It's to recognize that there are things you can do, that you're not helpless, that you're not isolated, that there is still something that can be relied upon. And for Celeste, that's her friends. That's Locke. And so now we have a new mission in this world of despair. We're going to find our friends. What will we do with them? Who knows? It doesn't actually really matter that much. The point is, we're going to find them. And here we start getting a little information about what's going on in the world. Kefka has become awesomely powerful and is now ruling over the decaying remains. We actually passed his tower on the way here. It's on the former location of Vector. And so we kind of see something there where the revolution went wrong. And the person who hijacked it is building on the ruins of the old empire. He's repeating the same things. For all that Kefka is this... Yeah, actually, why am I doing Kieran when Unicorn is so much better? Life is useful too, though, if I've got multiple people. I'm gonna stick with Kieran for now, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, you're going to die. Maybe worry a little less about the cash. Yet again, one of the things this game does amazingly well is reusing assets. Here we get, like this, this is the same bar, the same room that we saw before. But what a contrast. Before he was complaining about the rowdiness of the Imperial soldiers. Now he misses that. Because now there's nothing. This is kind of a profound thing, that the hope for apocalypse has gone so wrong that people miss the oppression before. They miss elements of that oppressive society. They don't want to be oppressed, but they miss certain aspects, certain things that came out of it, because things are so much worse now. Because In the end, all Apocalypse and Revolution can do is tear stuff down. Which is necessary. The Empire had to go. The Empire did have to go. But now, ancient dragons have been unleashed, in the absence of the oppressive state. Old forces that it kept down are now out and causing destruction. Things are bad. And it's not to say that, we shouldn't have wanted to overthrow the Empire. It's simply to say that this is the limit of what chaos can do. This is chaos gone too far. In the previous, in the World of Balance, despite it being called that, the Empire was tipping things way too far in the direction of order, specifically their order. But this world has gone too far the other way. And this is a world where life is increasingly no longer possible. And the only fix for that is, Celeste. It's order, but not oppressive order. It's organization, construction, building something new. And Celeste really is the go-to person for that. She's the leader, the general, but the one who nonetheless stood up for what is right. And we're going to be seeing that light of judgment very soon. Because that's the thing about Kefka. Kefka is, in many ways, a hypocrite. Because he derides life. He derides order. He derides, living together, yet he judges people. He stands in judgment over them and fries anyone who displeases him. So, far too many, people who speak of changing, destroying, tearing down oppressive systems, sometimes that's really what they want. Sometimes what they really want is to just build something new with themselves at the top. Because there are people out there who desire a world that's worse than the one in which we live. And what weird behavior. Okay. It's poison you and run away as a strategy. Here in the real world, there are people who want change for the better and people who want change for the worse. People who dislike the power structures of our society because they're not oppressive enough, because they want something worse that they can sit at the top of. And those people want revolution just as much as we do. They want to tear down the power structures of our society just as much as we do. Because whether you're going to replace them with something that's, equal and good, or with, some kind of oppressive totalitarian regime, either way, you have to tear down what we have now. And that's basically Kefka. Kefka didn't want to destroy the Empire out of, a desire for freedom or out of caring about people who were different from him, the way Celeste turned against the Empire because she refused, to hurt innocent people, or because she did and then turned against it. There's that, but then there's Kefka, who really is just in this out of I need something that'll keep me from turning to stone, because that would be an instant game over. Okay, well, while I'm looking for that... Wait, was that it? I guess there's nothing. What was I gonna say? Right. So, while... that's, Kefka just wants power. He wants to be able to destroy whatever he wants to destroy, hurt whatever he wants to hurt, for his own pleasure. And so he wanted to overthrow the Empire as much as we did, but for very, very bad reasons. I find it hilarious that the inn can instant restore our health in mid-crisis. But they can't do that the rest of the time. Oh hey! Look who's there. Am I sure I don't have anything for stone? Wait. See, I thought I had something. Okay. Let's see if anybody else has anything interesting to say. Yay, we found a friend. Now, technically speaking, this is skippable. It is possible to beat the game with only Celeste, Edgar, and Setzer, but I'm not even gonna attempt that. It's ridiculous. And kind of boring, because it vastly increases the amount of grinding you have to do relative to, story. This game loves to put timers inside of timers, doesn't it? Like, there really seems to be a pattern of enemies that inflict doom or other timer-based ailments when there's a timer going on. Anyway, there's... What was I gonna say? Man, this is a little slow. I'm slightly concerned about making it. What was I gonna say? So, the thing is now, like, bad stuff keeps happening. Sid dies. Now we find out that Kefka has this death ray he can fire on anyone whenever he wants that can, wipe out a whole building and destroy entire towns, so on and so forth. Things keep getting worse, and yet after that initial jump, Celeste just keeps going. And what's going on there? Well, like I said, she hit. Oh god. She hit the point of despair. Where's something that can hurt them? Oh, there. Okay. She hit the point of despair. She hit the point of everything has gone wrong, everything I hoped for is gone. It's time to jump. Oh my god, they deliberately had them poof one by one. That's evil. A tincture? Eesh. Anyway, but here she is just kind of pushing on through. And the reason is very simple. Other people. She has something, she has something better than hope now. She has connection. She has other people. And here in particular, now we see that Sabin is still out there. Sabin is helping us, even though he's not present. Can I run? Yes, I can. Is that faster? Possibly. Okay, we've got the kid. Come on. Yeah. Okay, that's definitely faster. Oh, God. Oh, it's these guys again. That's not so bad. Yeah, that's not so bad at all. So... yeah, and that's not something that gets taken away by failure. She has a goal to accomplish now, finding her friends. And the great thing about that is the only failure of that goal is giving up or dying. She can keep going. Ooh, Drainer. That'll be handy in a very short amount of time. But yes, she can keep going for essentially as long as she needs to. Because either she finds her friend and therefore succeeds, or she dies, in which case it doesn't matter how she feels because she's dead, or she gives up, but that's under her control. As long as she doesn't choose to do that, she hasn't failed, and she can keep pursuing the same goal. Oh, cool. Minute to spare. That wasn't so bad. And I think that really is the key to when things go horribly wrong. Find something to do. Find something positive you can do, no matter how small, and do it. And find people you can do it with. No? And now we do have, our mission. Find everyone, and then once we found everyone, save the world. Not a big task. No, it is a big task, and that's actually part of what makes it perfect. Is we can make... yeah, here we go. Wait. Do I have 2 ninja gloves? I think I do. So this will work out. Wait. Now that I have 2 people, petrification isn't that bad. Okay, here we go. So this is one of my favorite... wait. Okay. This is one of my favorite combinations in the game. Is, Drainer and Atma Weapon. Because, as you may recall, Atma Weapon does damage based on your current HP. While Drainer damages enemies for... well, its attack power is based on the difference between your maximum and current HP, up to a limit. So... the two together means first you hit with the Drainer, which if you're not at max HP, it takes you up to, at this stage of the game, very probably max HP. And then you hit them with the Atma weapon, and you take maximum damage from the Atma weapon. Or if you're full HP when you attack, they take no damage from the Drainer and full damage from the Atma weapon, which is still pretty decent. The only downside is you have to be careful not to use it against undead enemies because they reverse the Drainer. But still, it's overall pretty good. But like I was saying, the fact that it's such a huge task actually makes it better for this. Because even though it's huge, we can still make measurable progress. Each place checked for our friends. Each potential tool against Kefka found, each friend found, is a step towards success in the ultimate goal. But that ultimate goal, it's still out there. It's still something that we can pursue. So we can make progress and feel that we're making progress. Wait. No, that's not right. Did I not hit the Drainer? Okay. Oh. That's... What? Okay. Anyway. Where was I? Yeah, we can make progress. And feel that we're making progress. But because it's such a huge goal, we have a long time before we need to come up with another one. You know? This can be our goal for a very long time coming. For, in fact, the rest of the game. And I think, in my opinion, that's probably the most useful tool there is for dealing with... Oh, right. What was the weird combination of builds? Yeah, okay. In my opinion, it's an incredibly useful tool for dealing with despair, loss, feeling lost, is essentially work on a goal which you will likely never achieve, but which you can make progress toward. Ooh, Battle Weapon evolved now, she's past 1,000. Very nice. Because then you're always getting that I'm making progress feeling, which is really what you need. More than hope. You need... Yeah, I won't buy it. You need the feeling that you're doing something, that you're succeeding at something, that you're achieving something. That's a lot more important than hope, because hope ultimately is just, well, maybe someday. And you need something here and now when the world is in ruins around you. It's, a friend of mine back in high school used an analogy, which I like a lot, which ties to another classic video game, one a few years older than this, Tetris. Things fall on you. Things are constantly falling on you. And sooner or later, no matter what, you are going to hit, have too many things on you. You are going to have too high of a stack, or whatever you call the thing in Tetris. You'll reach the top and you will lose. But that's not what the game is about. The game is about how long you can keep going, and how many lines can you make. That's what it's really about. Because you know, in the end, late in the game, Kefka says something along the lines of, why do people build things when they know it's all going to be destroyed in the end? And that's the answer why. Because it's not about what's there in the end. You know what's there in the end. Death, failure, collapse, despair. And because we know what's in the end, and we can't do anything about what's in the end, we don't care about what's in the end. What we care about is building as many lines as we can now, seeing how long we can last, seeing how much of the stuff that falls on us we can clear away before it gets to be too much. And that's really what Celeste and Edgar are doing here. Celeste and Salen, they're seeking out lines to clear. And they've got a goal, but they know that the world is dying. They know that they are dying, but that's no more true now than it was before Kefka screwed with the goddesses, because it's always true. The world is always ending. And that's okay. Because we do what we can along the way. We make our connections to other people. We find a way to do something positive, a way to help. And that's really what we're on the way to toward now. Because as you may have noticed, I have gone off to the side from what one might call the default track of the game. Which is one of the fun things about the world of Ruin, is that it is the world of chaos. It's the world in which things become rather non-linear. You have a lot more freedom in choosing where to go next and what to do, even though the end goal is much the same. So instead of going straight to Edgar, I'm going to go to Mowgli's, and I'm going to talk to Tara. Now, she's not going to join me at this point. Tara will not join me before you have the airship. But Tara's also about post-hope, where Celeste found her quote-unquote granddad, which I'm pretty sure is just like a term of respect, not literal. Tara, as we will see, found children. Where Celeste initially rooted her helping in the previous generation, Tara will root it in the next one. And two, where Celeste ultimately finds her purpose in friends, Tara will find it in family. And those are both valid. Those are both great ways of finding a way to keep going. Something to keep doing. And you keep doing and doing and doing until either the work is done or you can't do it anymore. And that's the nature of life. And we'll talk about that more next time. Tara, probably Edgar, maybe more. I'll see y'all then. Bye!